I'm not messing with you. What's up? It's another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. Before we jump in, just a reminder, you can, of course, find us at our shiny new home at world11.podbean.com, all spelled out, all one word. You can, of course, also check us out on iTunes and Google Play Music, as well as Spotify. For any iTunes listeners, just a reminder, this is the last week that the current feed is going to be up on iTunes before I blow it up, because Apple's a giant pain in the ass, and we're going to have to set up a new feed for Podbean going forward. So just a reminder, keep an eye on the Facebook page and the Twitter page, where I'm going to post links to the new feed once it's up. But if you want to avoid all that hassle, you can, of course, just follow us directly at world11.podbean.com. You can, of course, check us out streaming live right now on our Twitch page. At World 1-1 Podcast, all spelled out, all one word, for your convenience and simplicity. And you can, of course, follow us on Twitter, World1_1 Podcast. And you can also check out and like the Facebook page to keep abreast of news. We've got all kinds of fun shit that's going to be coming up in the coming year. And, of course, the up-and-coming Prepping for Relaunch YouTube channel, where you're going to find the video versions of this show posted on Fridays to go along with the audio show on all of our other means of distribution. So that's all that nonsense out of the way. I think, did I get everything this time? I think I got everything this time.
I think you did.
Good job.
Holy fuck, I got it in one! Hot diggity damn. So, without further ado,
choose your fighter!
I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me is Kathy up a stream without a paddle.
Hi, everybody.
Josh the LeGroux.
Hello.
And I got it.
You were doing so well.
I know. And I had something earlier today, too, and I've lost it. You know what? I'm looking at your shirt. We're going to go with Eddie Batboy V.
Hello, everybody. I am prepared for 2019 because January is about to pop off.
Fuck January. I'm more concerned with February, dude.
Shoot, I'm concerned about January. We got probably a Nintendo Direct. We got No More Heroes, Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil 2, and some more stuff that's just getting ready to drop, like about 5 games. I'm like, shoot, I'm not even ready. And Super Mario Deluxe.
I'm just waiting for February because new Ori.
Wait, they actually announced the official date for it?
Months ago.
They didn't announce it at E3 with a date.
It was either E3 or shortly thereafter, but yeah, February, dude.
I wonder if it was at the XL conference.
I don't know. I'm telling you, though, February.
Interesting. I didn't even know it was coming out in February. I'll have to go look for a trailer for that. So, but yeah.
So let's jump into
Oh my gosh!
Video games.
Let's start with Kathy. What have you been playing?
The same 3 games that I've been playing for the last month. Not much variety, although that should change coming up this Sunday. So I'm not going to spoil it, but Christmas was really good for me. So in Hades, finally made it to the first of the 3 Furies that I guess you got to fight to get out of there. So Having a bitch of a time with that one. But the worst part is I've come close so many times, and then I don't know what happens. I get either I panic or I just get like overconfident, and then I start making stupid mistakes, and then I'm dead and back to the beginning. Hollow Knight again. Been doing a lot of backtracking, trying to get my little guy more powerful. Finding more stuff to do. I went back to the Mantis Village and went with their what are they? The three guys. The
Mantis Lords.
The Mantis Lords.
Yeah.
Yes. Went back and fought them, and then
That's such a good fight.
It was fun,
Mm-hmm.
and I liked the reward. Getting the new charm. Their the one where your strikes are a little bit longer. I'm trying to head back to the City of Tears so I can strengthen my nail for the third time. So, but of course I died on my way there, and I'm just like, forget it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. And then I went and played Fortnite so I could blow off some steam. So back in Fortnite, they've got the 14 days of Fortnite going on, holiday themed, and they're doing different modes every day. But yeah, otherwise not much else. That's been it.
Yeah, there's only like 3-4 times max that you'll get to strengthen your nail with the nailsmith.
See,
So-
I thought I asked you about that, and you said I couldn't. I was about to, because I know I asked you when I first started playing. I felt like I had, like, my nail should be stronger at some point, and you're like, nope. But maybe I
No,
misunderstood. what you
It'll
said.
get stronger, but not by much.
Well, it definitely has made some of the fights that should have been easier. I mean, would have made a lot of fights that I had that were really freaking hard a lot easier. So, wish I had paid attention more, but I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, your nail will get stronger, but not by much. I mean, really, as an overall, you really don't get much stronger. You'll learn which charm combos will work well for what situations, but I mean, you generally don't get much stronger than where you start out at.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I'm dealing with right now. Is there's one part where I'm sure this is where I'm supposed to be, but I'm definitely not strong enough, and I keep dying. I'll get to a point where it's like I'm doing really well, and then it just blows up in my face. So, oh well.
And I will tell you too, the final time that you up your nail,
Mhm.
you are so not prepared for what happens.
Okay.
So
All right. I'll
It's-
take your word for it.
it's an amazing character moment.
Okay.
So, but let's jump over to Josh. What have you been playing?
Okay, so I've been playing Red Dead still. It kind of lulled a little bit in Chapter 5 for me, so I was kind of, not really feeling it. And plus with work and my work schedule and everything, I was kind of like, I'm not going to play so much. But then it just kind of sucked me back. And because at the end of Chapter 5, not really any spoilers, but you kind of mainline like 2 or 3 missions right at the end. So it kind of propels you forward a little bit, so you feel like playing still. So I like that. So, and then I got PSVR, so I've been playing that. Really just kind of jumped into it a little more today. I was, yesterday, after I set it up, I was playing the demo disc all day. So I was just kind of messing around with it here and there, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to like lose my balance and fall over or anything, because it is very different. And I started getting motion sickness a couple of times, so I had to stop. But today I played Farpoint for about an hour, and that game is incredible. VR in general is incredible.
That's Sony's
Yeah, it's like
first party.
Yep, it's like it's a first-person shooter. It's kind of like you're almost like on the surface of like a Mars type planet,
Yeah.
and then there's bugs that jump at you and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't. Cassie, I don't think you could handle this. I could barely handle
No,
it.
I couldn't. Like I said, I'd be on the floor like dead.
Well, it's
from
really weird because like they want you to have like about a 6x6 at very minimum space to play in, And I found when I actually finally took off the headset, I was kind of in the corner of my room, but I didn't have any clue I was there because I was, you're looking around, you're not seeing anything. It is super cool. I always heard people describing it, like how VR is a game changer and all that, but you got to experience it. It's really awesome.
I heard people say that, and the game that people do recommend is Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, and I got that. I just have not put it in yet.
Yeah, they said that's one of the best ways. Play Resident Evil 7 anyway. That's a great game.
I'm just trying to acclimate myself a little bit to VR first because I do get motion sickness. Like when I first started playing first-person shooters, like with Doom and Wolfenstein, I used to get motion sickness with those.
Mm-hmm.
So the only time I haven't really gotten sick, but I kind of feel a little like I'm moving and I'm not. So I'm like, okay, I got to just take it off for a while, and I can go about an hour at a time right now, which I feel is pretty good so far since I just got it set up yesterday.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My goal is not to break it,
It seems that one of the best games or the biggest games is definitely Beat Saber. That came to a lot of people have been showing videos of that.
Yep. I watched one of those today.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to pick that game up.
Yeah, people still recommend getting Moss. I think it went on sale.
I have Moss. Yeah, I got it for $20 on sale.
Yeah,
nice.
I got it.
Yeah, a lot of people say get that game. And Astrobot, I haven't seen Astrobot. They probably announced it, but I just don't remember how it looks.
It's like a platformer. I don't have. That's one of the games I don't have that that they're saying that's kind of like how Mario 64 was to the 3D. It's kind of like how it's like that difference with VR and the platformer. It's like it's really a game-changing platformer game, but I haven't played it, so I can't speak to it yet.
Probably the same Jumping Jackrabbit that was on PS1, the more ability.
Right. So, other than that, I haven't been playing much.
And Eddie, what about you?
Okay, so Xbox One, I played a little bit of LiveLock. It's like a free kind of game that I got from Games Ago. It's kind of almost like Diablo and Helldivers in that style. Not such a bad game. Also picked up played the indie game Beyond Eyes, where you play as a girl who goes out and ends up getting blinded because for some fireworks, and you got to kind of listen by sounds and such. Controls a little bit sluggish, but that's more her movement. But the game's beautiful. It's kind of quite nice.
Do you like the game?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I had always planned on getting it when they revealed it at E3.
Right.
But everything like other indies and stuff popped up, and I put it to the side. But it was it was on a good sale, for $5 or $4.
Somebody mute your damn messenger.
That would be that would probably be me. But yeah, I played that. Far Cry 5 I started back up on Xbox One. So I'm gonna be playing that for a little bit. I'm gonna get back into Darksiders 3. And started up Saints Row the Third. Starting that from the beginning. I beat it on PS3, but I didn't beat it on Xbox. So this time I'm gonna try to get everything on it, get as much as I can. So that's pretty much what I've been playing on Xbox. For Switch, got played Guacamelee 2. Such a funny, great game. And the dungeons feel longer, or the mazes, if you want to call it like that. They feel longer. And the interactions though are still good. Played a little game called Cyberlip again, just to see if they had a special ending, and it doesn't. So it's a Neo Geo arcade game that I guess it came to America, but I just never seen it. It was it's a game that I just never played. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, did a little bit more unlocking. Actually got Ryu and World of Light by doing the Super Street Fighter style area. You get to go back to kind of like Street Fighter 2, and they kind of put characters in some of the levels almost designed like there, and they match people's spirits up with it, the Street Fighter 2 characters. And so I played that. End up getting Ryu really fun. M. Bison playing being used by Ganon using M. Bison spirit is unfair, and it's a great challenge. I love it. I was just like, if I had Silver Suit Samus, I would be able to beat him, but I beat him with Dr. Mario. But really enjoyed that. Moving on from that, Twinkle Star Sprites is a game. It's a kind of a fighter, not so much as a puzzle, but a fighter shmup. And what you do is you go around, shoot all these different enemies, and you're trying to attack your computer opponent. And the heart, like if you get their hearts like out, you win that one round. But I've been getting my tail kicked by the last boss. It's a really weird game, but it's super fun and creative. Like I love the idea for it. Dark Witch music episode Rudy Musical, or Rudy Mako is like it's a music
I've played
game.
that.
Huh?
I've played that like a year or so ago.
Oh, it was on sale, so I picked it up. It's a music game that's a kind of like a fighter beat 'em up, but you don't attack anybody. You attack these different balls, and you have to match the color up. And at points, it looks like stuff is supposed to be on beat, but it's not. And I was just like,
Okay, I'm glad that wasn't just me.
yeah, the game is odd, but I love it. It's very Japanese. So
Oh no shit.
so
Jesus Christ, that thing is Japanese.
So go in it knowing that Gray, I've been playing again, trying to collect everything. Really enjoying that. Of course, Ikaruga, I played, just cleaning up some of my skills. Bomb Chicken is fun and it's challenging, and it really makes you think. Because you can't jump in the game, it's very Bomberman-ish in 2D. And I love it. It's so fun. It's so funny because it's so odd and weird. I played a little bit more of Yoko's Island Express. Everybody know how I feel about that game. Just Shapes and Beats. Still enjoying that. Shut up, Larry. I haven't finished it yet because of other stuff.
I don't see why you haven't finished it. Kathy managed to finish it in one night.
Because I jump around on my Switch.
Did you hear that? Kathy's officially better at video games than Eddie.
Well, okay.
Ouch!
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
listen
not,
to him. No.
I'm not challenging your skill or anything like that. But it's just
Here we
like,
go again. It's another person totally knocking me the passive aggressive.
No.
Oh, it's not you. No, Larry did this to me back at the beginning. So it's like, damn it, you guys.
Well, it's because I when I played Just
Is there an
Shapes
easy
And
setting on
excuses.
Shapes and Beats?
Yeah, I didn't stick to it because of me jumping around through different platforms, being on through different podcasts and stuff. So I had to start playing a lot of other stuff. So that's why
No.
I'm like, I'm not.
No. It's just funny because I went through this when I was playing AM2R. Larry did the exact same thing to me about the second podcast, or first one. So it's just it's just funny.
Yeah.
The girl can't be good at the game or as good or better.
Oh no. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm just telling Eddie.
Sure.
He's officially not as good as Kathy now.
No, I don't
It's-
believe that, Eddie. I don't believe that. So
We're
he's
just
full of
teaching
it.
Edward the new pecking order.
I guess. Yeah, it's just that with Just Chasing Beats, it's just like it's a game that I go to and it just works me back in, and I want to play more and more, knowing good and well I got other stuff I got to get into. But
Right.
the music at Just Chasing Beats is so good, and I love the challenge. I'm still holding out for a physical, and I really do want like a CD compilation of the music. Like it's
That would be awesome.
it's literally like it's right now for best music of 2018. It's a fight for me personally. It's a fight between Forza Horizon 4 and Just Shapes and Beats. Like even though they both have licensed music, Forza Horizon 4 music is so fitting when you're driving in that game. And it's just like I actually go on YouTube to listen to some of the music from Forza. And I like Just Chasing Beats. I can't listen it on YouTube because it makes me want to grab my Switch and just put on my headphones and be like, okay, I'll play this for 5 minutes. What the heck is it doing 2:30? I'm almost late for work. And it's like 12 o'clock. Like it gets you in. So I'm having that battle with it. Really haven't played anything on my PS4 yet. I did buy some games for it, but I just haven't started them up yet. And I need to check this week's PS4 sales, because I think it's the third week of the holiday sales, and I want to get some stuff from there because I really want to finish Detroit Become Human before the end of the year. So I'm going to be putting in a lot of work and a lot of games for it. But that's pretty much what I've been playing at the moment.
Okay.
Cool.
Right on. So let's see, what have I been playing? I started Salt and Sanctuary, and I will freely admit I have not really dug into any of the Soulsborne games, and so I suspect that had I have had some background in that I might know what the fuck I'm doing with this game, but this game doesn't fucking explain anything either, though.
Right.
It's like, make a character, pick a class. It doesn't tell you what anything does, just pick a thing. Like, and maybe give me some pros and cons here to weigh. Yeah. But no, it's like, here, take a guess. Good luck, whatever. Which irks me a little bit because Ska Studios is usually pretty good about laying out the how-tos. I was a big fan of some of their earlier stuff, like the dishwasher on 360, because the dishwasher was fucking amazing. But Salt and Sanctuary is definitely much slower paced than Dishwasher, but again, that kind of comes with that slow, methodical plotting feeling of any Soulsborne game, which, well, no, I've not played them. I'm aware of them. I've seen plenty of it. I know what to expect out of it. Just, I feel like there's an educational component missing that should have been there from the outset, rather than, here, keep beating your head on a wall until you learn something kind of thing. That...
In a sense, and not to interrupt, I'm sorry, Larry. In a sense, that's kind of how Dead Cells is kind of based off of a little bit. It has a soul vibe to it, but it's not a soul genre game.
Dead Cells at least gives you explanation on what shit does. Salt and Sanctuary doesn't give you shit. They're like, here, you're on your own. Fuck off now. But, so I'm sure I will get it figured out with some time and frustration. I just didn't have the time or the patience to sit in with it for real long with that kind of introduction to it. That's a game where I need to have like a day that I can just dedicate to learning it. But what else did I play? I actually did play some Dead Cells. I got one run in. It was solid all the way up to the Hand of the King. I got him 3/4 of the way down, and I got knocked into a pit and got fucked. So, just wasn't anything I could do. But it was a solid run going. Like, everything was lining up my way for me. I was getting all my turrets and all my crossbow repeaters, and it's magical, but fucking Hand of the King. But, anyways, dinked around with a little bit of Hollow Knight, just kind of grinding out the last bit of Geo to get my last charm. And I downloaded, have not started yet, Grim Fandango, because it was on sale for like $5. And what else did I pick up? I believe I bought, what did I get? I got I and Me because it was on sale for $5 as well. It's been on my wish list for like over a year, and I figured for $5 I'll give it a go. I did get to dink with a little more Smash, not much progress, but a little. Just dinking my way through World of Light. And Eddie, here's where you and I are probably gonna have some fighting words.
Okay.
So, I told Eddie before we started, I said, we got to have a talk about this game, damn it. Because you were all about it. You said you really liked it. And man, I'm like 30 minutes in and I'm going, I don't see the magic here. I'm not having fucking fun here. But I bought it on sale because I figured at the very least, eventually it would go on a decent sale and I'd have some money laying around for it. And I did. And I picked up Yonu the Celestial Elephant.
Okay.
Let me tell you how fucking disappointed I am with this game. God damn it. Like, at a glance, it looks all pretty and shit. And then you start playing it. And you give me a title like Yonu the Celestial Elephant. And I expect, like, a celestial kind of vibe, aesthetic. Kind of a la Okami, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No. This is not what we've got. Like, I would forgive the fact that the gameplay is a little clunky, a little rough around the edges, but here's the problem. Instead of getting something like Twinkle Star, Celestial, Night Sky, pretty kind of thing, lots of glow effects and bloom lighting and shit to make the magic happen and just suck you into that world, no. You know what I got? I got a game that looks like fucking Sonic Blast 3D on the goddamn Game Gear. With a little Duplo elephant.
That's the celestial part.
It is an indie game.
That is not an excuse anymore, and it hasn't been for the last fucking years.
Hold on. That is an indie game, and it's kind of it's more of a like a chill platform game. One of those things.
No, this is not a chill platform game. This is a game for fucking 4-year-olds.
And when you look at it, that's
should have
kind of
been
the
$3 download on the App Store that I can hand to my child and go, here, entertain yourself for an hour.
I think it's a fine game. You know, sometimes with a lot of indie games, they're not knocked out or anything. Yes, Yono is not the best. Like, if you compare Yono and Yoko Island Express, you could definitely see the difference. But I feel like that I think the game is like really cool for young gamers or anyone who don't want anything too heavy. You know, to play like a real just fun little platform.
All right, we're gonna take issue with that right now. You cannot tell me that Yonu is not a heavy game when the main character is a fucking elephant.
That doesn't count. But the elephant is a celestial elephant, so that's light.
Doesn't look celestial.
Well,
Celeste looks more celestial than Yonu.
It's a fine game. I mean, if you're not liking it, I can understand. I mean, it got 6 or 7s, so you know, and this is early Switch still. You know, indie games have gotten better at this time.
Just, god damn it.
Oh please, there has been worse indie games that you have played, and this is not one of them. It might not be your cup of tea. But you
He's
have
gonna
played
defend it to the
games.
bitter end. He's not...
And guess what? He gonna play it all the way.
4-year-olds everywhere.
But and watch, he gonna end up playing it all the way. He's still gonna have his opinion, but he will finish it. So what are you complaining for?
Because it should be good and it's not. Everything being good, it should at least have a certain aesthetic to match the title.
I'm gonna have to play this game and see what I think.
Kathy, I get the feeling you might end up being the bridge between me and Eddie on this. My gut tells me you'll probably fall somewhere in between our two extremes. And most likely right in the middle.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine, but
It's okay.
This is the argument that me and Larry kind of has. Is that we have our opinions about Yono, but it's the same way that we have our opinions about Metroid 2. You know,
Right.
on the Game Boy, Larry would rave about that game. I kind of find
Rave about it with the caveat knowing that it has problems, but I love it for very specific
But you
reasons.
forgive those. But see, that's the thing about it. You forgive those problems. I can't forgive those problems because of what Metroid has kind of become, and it sucks that the newer Metroids kind of have ruined that experience, and the remake of Samus Return has literally destroyed. Even AMS2R has literally destroyed the original Metroid 2. And I feel like even though it may be good, Metroid 2 may be good, I find it kind of a little bit basic and boring and too different for my taste. And that's a personal thing. It's each of a personal thing. I feel like there's better Metroid games within the series, but I don't feel like Metroid 2 is all that to rant and rave about. And that's a bridge that me and Larry have. We disagree on that game, but we know that it's part of the Metroid family. I can respect it, but I don't think it's the best. And I think after playing Samus Return, to me, Metroid 2, the old version, don't even exist in a sense, because it's very problematic and dated, I should say.
And I fully admit that my love for Metroid 2 is strange and full of rose-tinted glasses, but this love you have for Yonu the Celestial Elephant, that shit's a bridge too far. We're just gonna light that bridge on fire.
And I know that it has problems, but I like the game. I like what it does. And like, it's an indie game. I was willing enough to be an adult gamer and try something different for an indie game. And all indie games are not promised to be the best, but sometimes you sometimes find a gem, and whether you like it or not, it's an indie game.
Yeah. So, but no, I probably will play some more of it and see if it does anything interesting story-wise or anything else. But man, that was just so jarring. Just like, the fuck? Where am I? Why am I surrounded by toddlers? But also, picked up a goodie today. I got paid. I went back to Best Buy, and it was still
You
there.
got it! So cute!
The Wanderer, the Knight.
He's so
Ah.
adorable.
He is. And what you can't see from the box, but you will see in the unboxing that if you're watching this live, that unboxing is going to go up tomorrow. If you're listening to this as it's been posted post-recording on Friday, that unboxing is already up on our YouTube channel. His nail, the handle, has a little magnet in it, and it will either magnet to his hand so he can hold it, or it'll magnet to his back to keep it sheathed.
Oh, cool.
Which, speaking of the YouTube channel, this shiny copy, this adorable plushie of the Hollow Knight, also comes with a digital code for the game on Switch. Now, here's the thing. I own the game on Switch, which means that code doesn't do a fucking thing for me, but I bet you it'll probably do something for one of our fine listeners and or viewers. So, thinking giveaway. And my thought is this. I'm thinking we're going to do a giveaway to celebrate 100 subscribers to our YouTube channel. And so the first video that goes up after we hit 100 subscribers, start commenting on that video. I am going to pick somebody from the comments on that video, and they will win a copy of Hollow Knight for the Switch.
Make it a respectable comment.
You know what?
That'd be-
Specifically, you should comment Yonu sucks.
That doesn't count. Because people will be like, I'm making a comment. Do I win? No, be respectful. You know,
I'm
comment on.
perfectly okay with those comments, but you get 2 entries if you comment Yonu sucks.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. Jeez.
Oh God.
Be careful for what you wish for, Larry.
I was gonna say, do they get 3 entries if they say Metroid sucks?
Well, considering Eddie's not running this giveaway and I am.
Too much.
I'll give them 5 if they do that.
But you don't have a code to give away. I do.
That's true.
So.
That's true.
But yeah, so we have a copy of Hollow Knight to give away. So we got to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, and once we do, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do, just so that everybody knows when what video to post comments on. Once we hit 100 subscribers, the show following, we will announce at the beginning of the show. Comment on this video on our YouTube channel, and somebody in the comments will win. So that should simplify just a little bit. But before we get there, 100 subscribers to our shiny YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed already, you should go do that, because we put up all kinds of cool shit, like our rebroadcasts of awesome streams from our Twitch channel and unboxings and all kinds of cool things. So I would definitely go check that out so you can win a copy of Hollow Knight. And I think that's what I've been playing. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Maybe. Let me double check. No, I think I got it all. Yeah. So, since we've reached the end of Oh My God video games, that means it's time for us to say break! And we're back. So, back half of the show, this is where we're going to make our way over to the news desk. Hey, look, we're here. We want to jump in with, I'm going to start with the last one first here, because it makes me giggle, because they just bungled it so fucking hard. PlayStation Classic, cut to $60 already.
Nice.
Oh,
I don't even know if it's worth that.
I know.
And some people have been getting it for $36 at Target.
Haha. Devalued. Question is, can you devalue something that just didn't have that much value to start with?
Yep.
Which tells you how much it actually costs to make one of those things.
Right, no shit. It was so fucking disappointing. There was so much potential for so many good games there, and that's what they fucking went with? Just, like, who thought that was a good idea?
This is what I'm confused about. It's just like, oh, so y'all can sell 77 plus million PlayStation 4s, but you can't spend the money on trying to get licenses for the classics?
Hell,
And now,
licenses that would have been great.
and also, do you not value your own first party games? Because you guys got a ton of first party classics that they could have put on.
Yeah, clearly they don't. But I just there's not even much to discuss in there. But man, it made me fucking laugh so hard when I saw that.
Well, shoot. People bought it. I mean, people bought it today and started hacking it like right away.
Oh yeah, it's got a free emulator on it. It's not even. I mean, if you have a Raspberry Pi, you're dealing with more powerful hardware than what they've got in there. Pretty sad.
Of, somebody actually decided to experiment and discovered that the SNES Classic can emulate the PlayStation 1 games better than the PlayStation 1 Classic did.
Yeah, I saw
Right.
that video.
That was
They
crazy.
said even the,
that was priceless.
they even said the Super Nintendo controller works better for a lot of them.
Yep.
I believe that. I believe that.
Oh, God.
It's sad. It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's a mist of a lot of things. Oh, here's a good nugget. So here's a quick hit for you. Suda51 says that he's totally down for bringing Killer 7 to the Switch, but the ball is 100% in Capcom's court because they apparently own 100% of the rights to that fucking game. But Suda's like, yeah, let's make it fucking happen. The only reason it's not going to happen at this point, apparently, is if Capcom just says, "Nah, I don't wanna," because money is hard.
But they released it on PC, right? Didn't it get like a re-release on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it on my Switch though. That game is fucking awesome.
I think Capcom probably would do something for that, for something later on this year, because they really don't have nothing planned for Switch at this time. Because Monster Hunter Generation and Mega Man 11 was like kind of the last big games for me, so
Right.
it will kind of fit well. Okami HD, I'm sorry. It would kind of fit if they could do that. But it's gonna be it'll be up to Capcom over the Resident Evil games. That's right. But I think it would sell better on Switch than it did on the GameCube.
I would imagine so. I'd be shocked if it didn't.
Well, there's more Switches than there were GameCubes, aren't there? At this
Yeah,
point, or
by a
close
lot.
to it.
So, yeah, that's one that kind of makes me happy and sad all at the same time. So, and Eddie, you said you had something you wanted to hit on.
Yeah, so on Game Informer, there's a story called Harvest Moon creator Yoshihiro Wada. He talks Damien and why Japanese gamers are returning. And one of the questions that was asked is, you've been a long time veteran of video game development. You've seen every trend there has been since the SNES era. I was curious, in the last 10 years, Japanese development kind of fell out and then came back. Why do you think that happened, and why do you think it's coming back? And his response was, so right around when the Wii launched, around 2007 and 2008, the Japanese market was trending toward making games that were very clearly for the otaku market. The Wii had absorbed all the casual game players, so the remaining developers focused on what would make them money. As a business, many companies leaned toward using tools that were easy to sell. For example, famous voice actors, guest character designers, things like that. So after a few years, once the Wii market had died, those Wii users basically decided not to play any more games. Overall, the game market has shrunk as a result. There should have a second tier market, a gamers market, where people who simply enjoy games would buy titles, but those people have basically faded away with the Wii market. All that was really left was the very hardcore otaku market, so those semi-casual players left the market as well. He goes on to say, after that trend, the trend was mobile games. These very simple mobile games were playable on not smartphones but old style cell phones. Those became popular and people just walked away from console games. So you have these really hardcore gamers and super light users, and in between there should have been a market for casual gamers. And those gamers actually went to mobile. When smartphone games became popular, that middle tier market went to smartphone free-to-play games. The Japanese mobile game market is a little bit different than the rest of the world, where free-to-play is free-to-play, but Japan places emphasis on the gacha system, which is sort of like a roulette or a gambling-like system. People who got addicted to the gacha system, they would spend tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars, even thousands sometimes, on other platforms. If you pay $50 or $60, you'd be able to play the same amount of content. There's no way that this type of business model would last a long time, though. It expanded very rapidly, and then there was a point of no more expansion. The middle tier market realized that their smartphone games, the free-to-play, were basically just monetizing machines. When those users realized that they were being monetized, the timing was correct and that the Switch came out. The PlayStation 4 was able to keep or sustain those gamers that have played console games all through the years, but those people who move over to mobile and then realize that they're throwing away money into gacha, they realized, hey, this is not a game. So they wanted to play video games, and that's why I believe they have returned to consoles. That's just my opinion, of course. And I presented you guys this question, just like in 2019, what will bring people back into console gaming? We, like he just said, like they have a different system, definitely with their mobile system, but of course, we got console, mobile, and handheld. But what you guys think will bring people back in 2019 for consoles? We all love like the Switch. We all love PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but sometimes we step away from that, and as there's signs we don't even play games at all for maybe weeks or months. So what you guys think?
I think we've already got people coming back to console gaming with Switch. That's been a big driver right there, just because it's not
Hybrid.
just console, but yeah, that hybrid does wonders.
Josh?
I kind of think the same thing as Larry. Like, a lot of people, the barrier to entry is lower on console, so yeah, I still think you're going to get a lot more people that are just going to want a dual purpose type console. So the Switch, it fulfills a lot of that for people that want to take it on the go. In Xbox One and PS4, I mean, they're both selling great too. So it just kind of looks like kind of the experience people want. They need the games, and that PS4 proved that, and Switch has proved that. So, and I think Microsoft's going to work on that, and it's going to be interesting.
What about you, Gaffney?
Trying to think how I'm going to phrase this because I know I'm going to get chewed up here. I personally don't see any difference. I don't know if anybody's really going to come back to the consoles. Again, I think these consoles are evolving, and Microsoft and Sony better get their shit together, because a lot of people just don't stay at home and play video games like they used to. There's a group of the hardcore gamers who do, and are willing to spend the time and the hours, like you said. Having those who stream are going to be more likely, but if we're looking at just the casual players, the mid-market, more and more they're just moving away from games, and I don't know if there's really anything that could bring them back. I think Nintendo is probably the best company to do that, and it's evident with their Switch. And if you look back when they came out with the Wii, look at what they did there. I mean, so many people picked up the Wii that never played video games. So it's going to take, I think, a brand new console and a brand new concept to get that market to bring people back into the consoles. And that's what would be interesting to see, because we know there's been talk Sony's planning to have their PS5. Is it going to be similar to what they've been doing, or is it going to be innovative? These companies need to think outside of what they've been doing, and I think they're stuck in this rut where Nintendo looked at, well, we've been stuck in this rut, what can we do better? And that's with the Wii motion controls and then the Switch. They're always looking, where's the future of gaming? Microsoft and Sony need to get on board. They need to look at how they can bring those people back. So it's going to take a lot. I don't know if that's going to happen in 2019, though, because I really get the feeling that Sony and Microsoft are still stuck with what has worked for them in the past. And until they get their heads out of their asses and say, this isn't working, the consoles are going to continue to decline. So.
Okay. Well, I think for like a lot of the casuals is that I think it's going to take the hardcore and definitely retail to help people understand why games are still important and why consoles are still important. Because sometimes kids or even some adults who ask for a console and everything don't have enough information or don't fully know the details. They use that, I hear my friend said this, or this is what I heard through the grapevine or something through family members, where there's information out there like with the Nintendo Direct, E3, Inside Xbox, like video game magazines and stuff, that people don't read any kind of information on what a console is and what it's allowed to do. So I think it's going to take up to a lot of people to be like, who are really not hardcore video game players, but those who are very well educated, and some of the retail sellers who are well educated to help people learn about these consoles and sell them more on. Usually with the casual player, with them transferring kind of to mobile in a sense, it's kind of figuring out what is casual to them. Is it something that's very easy and relaxing that they could get into, or something that they don't want their skill to be tested in? Because you do have people who are casual players, but you know their level of skill is I'm able to get through a Lego game, and you know, or my skill is playing Angry Birds. You know, why? If they're into gaming, they should be able to be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna try Mario Brothers, the original one, and see if I could stay with that game, or if it could stay with me and stuff, and challenge myself.
So
Oh, sorry.
no, you go ahead.
What I was going to say, though, I think, and here's the other issue, cost. I mean, these
Sure,
consoles
yeah.
cost a lot of money. I mean, who wants to spend the money if you're not going to play the games? With mobile, you can get a lot of games for free to try them out. If you then want to get the full experience, then it's like $4 or $5. Some of them are a little bit more pricey. I mean, again, I'm going to use Fortnite only as an example. It's free to play, but I can play it on my mobile and get everything the same exact thing as I can on my PC, Switch, Xbox, or PlayStation. Why would I spend the money to get a PC, an Xbox, a PlayStation, or a Switch when I can do it on my mobile? So I think that's part of the problem, is that these consoles, I'm not saying that the consoles aren't worth the prices. I mean, they're going to be high, but some people just won't justify when they're already spending that much money on a cell phone.
And that's why being educated will let them know why they cost so much. You know, because
But they're not going to care. They don't
Right,
care why they cost. They're just looking at, this costs too much. What am I going to get for it?
Right.
And they're not going to care about why it costs that much. They're just going to care why, you know, it costs this much. What, you know, okay, you got these games. They don't appeal to me. I don't want it. I'd rather just stick with my cell phone.
But you know what? And it's kind of weird that if you want the best experience with some games on mobile, you're going to pay a pretty big print penny. Like if you're doing it like on Surface tablet, if you're doing it on the iPad, or definitely like the iPhone XS or any other thing, that money that you're going to be paying for, plus you got to, you know, if you're on the go, you're paying for a phone bill anyway. So whether you get that console or you think that console is expensive or not, the technology that you're getting with that phone and paying that phone bill is going to be way more than just getting that one free console. That still does more than what a phone in a sense does, because even though you can play Fortnite on the phone, you have to still be connected to the internet, because you gotta play against other players. You don't have no internet, there's no reason to have a Fortnite. Like, who you gonna play against? Because the system's not gonna allow it.
Yeah, but now it... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt.
Same thing with consoles. Some consoles is that you have to pay for the system, but there's more that comes with the system that really doesn't require an online service, you know, for it. But if you want to play Fortnite, you definitely got to have that system, and you got to have that online service to play for.
And I would disagree with you, because nowadays, I mean, we look at what Microsoft was saying. You have to be connected to the internet to get the downloads, and I mean, come on, you can't just get a game anymore and then not be able to play it right away. Damn, I miss cartridges.
But
but
I mean, like, I think you can still use Xbox Live, like to buy like indie games on Xbox Live. You don't really need gold if you're buying something like.
But you still need the internet to download it,
right?
right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you need the internet with any console.
Yeah,
but if you're doing digital, yes. Maybe some physical does it too, because physical probably would do it because of the patches and stuff, like the day one patches and stuff. So yeah. But I think it's becomes like for a lot of internet, it's kind of been packaging with a lot of people phone bills and cable bills and stuff like that. I don't think they separate it, but I think some people do separate it where you could just get the internet and not have to buy the phone package and stuff.
So I want to throw out there too. I'm thinking one of the biggest things that'll bring people back is, or more people back, and it's already happening, is diversity of library. You know, the Switch has had a huge boom because there's literally something for everyone to play on the Switch.
Right. You can have your 4-year-old
know.
play something, and you can go play something in the afternoon.
Like
or
Yonu.
whatever. Yeah, Yonu. Why not?
But you also, but I think, and definitely with the Switch, like, to me personally, the Switch has really, like, got people into some Japanese games and actually got people into importing. So it's not just playing games on a console, it's like actually playing games from around the world. So like you speak, Larry, of diversity, yeah. But there's some games, like, I would love, and I'm probably gotta find a way, I would love to play that Japanese version of Secret of Mana here.
Yeah. But I think but again, when you look at some of the bigger ones, I mean, that's why Nintendo gets the people. And I think if anybody's going to bring back people to the consoles, it's going to be Nintendo. Sony and PlayStation, their games are complex. They don't have a lot of the simple games, nor do even their previous titles. I mean, we're talking about the PlayStation Classic. I mean, even those titles, well, I'm not even going to go into it, but even those ones don't have that nostalgia feeling. They also don't have the simplicity. The controls are freaking nightmares sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have simple controls, and again, that's where Nintendo really excels. Yes, they've made the Pro controllers very similar to the Xbox and PlayStation, but they also have the games where it is just going back to the old school directional pad A/B button. So I don't know. It's going to be, if anybody's going to bring people back to the console, it's going to be Nintendo. It's not going to be Microsoft. It's not going to be Sony unless they change their act. And then we got to also add in VR. I mean, look at that. Is that going to be what brings everybody back?
I don't think that's going to be what
or is
brings
that
everybody
going
back, but I think it might supplement some of what's already there.
I think VR is going to make people think that now the promise aspect of VR is coming to fruition. Like, people are be like,
Yeah.
okay, now I see.
I tell you, yeah, I'm telling you, with the VR is, I was a skeptic about it until I got one,
Right.
and I've never used VR before.
Mhm.
But when the PlayStation VR is it was incredible. It blew me away.
And a lot of people, I think a lot of people seeing PS, like, to me right now for PSVR, it's going to the DS movement, the original Nintendo DS, where people thought, this is odd, this is weird, this is not going to work for Nintendo.
Right.
Don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But you give it a year or two and some great games come out, look how much that system.
Not only that, but the actual hardware went down. I mean, you
Yeah.
can get the hardware $200, $250 with 2 games, 2 Move controllers, and just the Move controllers on themselves are $100.
And that works definitely for Sony, because you got, only way that you can play PSVR is you got to have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
Well,
and
yeah.
that makes for a huge barrier to entry too.
It does.
That's a huge uphill fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think Sony is willing to
Got a wireless headset.
use what they're doing on video.
God.
You have to go on YouTube to watch to understand what Larry's doing as the most. But PlayStation, yeah. I mean, that's the big win for PlayStation with PSVR. I'm still don't think it's viable enough for me. Just a personal thing is because that
I
some
hear
of the games that I could play on PlayStation, I could just play on the console. Like the ones that matter. Well, I can't really get the true experience of Moss, but you know, if Moss is just like a regular 3D platformer or something, and I could just use it with my controllers, the VR doesn't do nothing for it.
I hear you. I don't know about Moss. I haven't played it yet, but I'm thinking it's more like a third-person type. You're kind of like behind a little bit, like almost like that. But I haven't even looked at it yet. We'll talk about it more. I'm gonna play that before next week for sure. But
Right. And like Tetris Effect, it's Tetris to me with Mizuguchi's choices of music, and I love Mizuguchi. Meteoro,
Medios.
Luminous and stuff. I follow his like design and his music. He brings up some great tracks, but I can still do the same thing, just playing Puyo Puyo Tetris and throw on some house music for Chicago. I could do that with Just Shapes and Beats or Streets of Rage 2 and stuff, like just throwing the soundtrack and play a puzzle game. It gives me that same experience in a sense. But don't get me wrong, Tetris Effect is a new twist on Tetris, and I can't get that with any other Tetris game. So I will play that game just on PS4. I just don't need the VR aspect for it.
Yeah, I mean, that game is 100% playable without VR,
Right.
but there are some minor things I think that might give you some visual enhancement, just in a slight way, kind of like putting blinders on, just so that nothing else is distracting you.
The thing about VR, like I realized the first time I put it on, it was like you were in a theater, but like in the movie theater, in the best seat you could imagine sitting in.
Yeah.
And you move your head back and forth. It doesn't move. It's like you're really there. It's very interesting, and the way that they do the head tracking with the PS camera, and the controller tracking, it's perfect. It's spot on.
The interaction heightens the experience.
Yeah, it's very different, and it's really cool. Like I said, I'm only just starting to kind of get into it, but it's very cool. And
while you having that console, there's other games that doesn't use PSVR or any
absolutely.
There's other games that you can play on the system. Like there's so many indie games. Like indies, first party AAA games, and I think is when it comes to the console, and we're going to come back to it, are you going to be looking for new experiences? Because sometimes in order to be better at stuff, you can't play it safe. You got to literally experiment and take the good with the bad, take the bad with the good. Larry doesn't like Yono and the Celestial Elephant. He has his opinions about it. But at least he's playing it and he's given that experience, because that developer or publisher that he somewhat supported with his money, he has the right to criticize them. But they might come out with another game that might be bomb-tastic, that Larry might be like, it's on sale, I'll give it a try. Whoa, they made that game? They made Yono? And this game is better than it? Sometimes stuff like that can happen. And you could be like, man, I'm so happy that I got this experience on console. Not saying that it can't happen on mobile, because mobile do got some great games. But to come back to console, where not so much the heart of gaming, but for a lot of people, that's where video games begin.
Right.
And that's kind of researchers of arcade games, like Switch. There's tons of Neo Geo and Japanese arcade games that never came to America. If we don't see them on Xbox One or PlayStation. But I'm just like, this resurgence of arcade games coming back, and then people buying the flip grip and stuff like that, giving that arcade experience, that can bring people back to it.
So here's a question for you regarding VR as well, while I'm thinking of it. What would you like to see done with VR that hasn't been done yet? Like, what do you feel is a missed opportunity that nobody's hit on yet?
At this point in time, there's really nothing that you can't do with VR. And I think...
No, but what would you like to see done that hasn't been done yet?
Well, the only thing I can say that hasn't been done is that we gotta wait for Dreams for PSVR. Dreams by Media Molecule might be the example of where VR can go.
Personally, I'd like to see more push for like more augmented reality experiences. Like, I'm sitting at the Super Bowl on the 50-yard line, or I'm at a concert I can't go to. Those kind of things, I'm thinking that's going to push it into the mainstream, where more people are going to want, and barrier to entry for VR will be lower. I mean, it's already lower with Oculus Go. You can get it for $200. It's a totally,
in the sense
headset.
that experience is there. I just don't think it's like expanded yet.
That's
to
what I
the
mean,
mass.
and that's what they need to do. They need to like start doing that kind of stuff so that
Uh-huh.
everyday people see a benefit of getting it. Because nobody, like my family, they're not going to go buy a PS4 Pro or a PS4 and a VR headset. They're not going to go do all that. I mean, they may come over to my house and try it and then say, this is pretty cool. What else can I do with it besides play games? Well, you can watch some movies and you can watch, Netflix, and that's about it. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that they need to expand on.
What about you, Kathy? Kate, Kathy. Goodness.
To be honest, VR does not impress me only because I know I'm going to end up running into a wall. So, and I'm already a klutz, so I don't need to be doing it. But I agree with Josh. I think that having that ability to go to live events, being able to go to the concerts, being able to go to the sporting events, and feeling like you're actually right there on the ice or at the game, at the concert, and having that experience, that's where I think the push for VR would be. But again, it's people, would say, well, I can spend less money to go and actually go to the concert, or go to the sporting event. Well, okay, not the Super Bowl, but I think of it. You guys brought up when we were talking about accessibility and the video games a few weeks ago when I wasn't here. That actually would be a target audience. I would be to give experiences. You're talking about how people, have trouble with the motion controls. VR, if they really would sit down and think about how they could make their games more, take those games that we were talking about that are not geared towards those. I'm using the example. What was it? Color blindness for the
Right.
one
Yeah.
Right.
for the witness. Being able to use the VR to make it so that they could maybe also use their voice commands to, or just being able to change those games around or make them more accessible to people who maybe cannot use their hands, and they could use, and have that immersiveness that might actually help them with those games. So that would be actually kind of a neat aspect to bring with the virtual reality, and I think could make it a little bit easier. I know we still have to use controllers for a lot of these games, but I think that might actually there would be some more marketability for that.
I can
If I
see
make any
somebody.
sense.
I can see somebody hijacking the Power Glove and using it for VR.
Well, I'm pretty
Yep.
sure that the next iteration of VR is going to have some kind of glove technology that we're going to be using. Because, I mean, right now with the controller, if you're using the DualShock or even the motion controllers, you don't have to use like every button. Usually, you only use a few buttons. This experiences are pretty simple. There are some pretty more, like I played a few that are pretty in depth. Right now I'm just kind of in the awe stage that I'm like in the game kind of. So, and you notice the scale of things right away. Like if you're in space, you notice like you're next to a planet. It looks huge, when you're small. So it's kind of like the awe-inspiring thing of it right now. And I think once I get more acclimated to it, I'm going to want more experiences that are more in-depth experiences. So,
And I think, and it's going to sound weird, but I think that's where Microsoft will take charge in that.
Sure.
Because I think they have the money and they have the technology, and definitely with their software. Because their PC, their tech and their work could go anywhere. They just got to get their approval, and if it could work, that's a good thing for Microsoft. So.
Well, anybody else have anything before we close out?
No, that would be it, everybody. It will be 2019 when you guys hear us. Not this episode, but next year. I come interested to see what is going to be everybody's New Year's game. Like, what is the first game you're going to play on New Year's Day? Actually, what was the game that you played on New Year's Eve as your last game, and what is your New Year's Day game? Like the first one that you stuck with.
probably the same one.
Well, I mean, it's out. It's out to anybody, not you guys, not only you guys, but to the listener, to the viewer. Like,
Sure.
let us know in the comment section, and email the show at world11gmail, world11podcast@gmail.com. And hit us on Twitter at world11. I think we're at world11podcast. There,
Yes.
or Twitter.
World one
One
underscore one podcast.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, hit us that and let us know what is your final game. What was your final game in 2018? And what is your first game in 2019? I'm juggling because I'm off. I'm off New Year's Day. New Year's Eve. So I got a lot of stuff to play before like 12 o'clock, and I want to make sure that whatever I play for 2019 is a Nintendo game, whether it's old or new.
So, yeah, with that said, I think here's where we're going to go ahead and close out for the night. I want to say thank you to my partners in crime, Eddie and Josh and Kathy, for joining me. Dylan's a little under the weather, but should be back with us next week. Yeah, just, have yourself a good one. Go play some Vitcha games. And we'll see you back next week here on World 11 Podcast. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
And it's something that I like, but you have a problem with, right? Or is it the other way around?
No, it's something that you said you liked.
Oh, the tables are turned.
Me and Larry have had discussions like that. Check our discussions.
Oh, I know.
Those conversations are like the foundation of this fucking show.
Pretty much.